come and join the Play the Game forums at playthegamecentral.com, the home for Call of Duty Zombies. Safe, my name is Wangterm and welcome back to Play the Game Central. So today, if we can, let's try and get some likes on this video, maybe about 200. I think that'll do. Today I'm going to be talking about 3 little things that I personally feel that is damaging the zombies experience. Now again, this is my personal opinion on these 3 things. And if there is anything that you think damages the experience for you, make sure you tell us in the comment section below and talk about it with everybody else. Okay, so number 1 on my list, and this is the most important, is the super wonder weapons, like the swords and the bows and the etc. It makes the game way too easy. The bows on the Eisendrache are literally game-breaking. Whether the map is supposed to be played with those, it obviously is. It makes it so easy, like ridiculously easy. If you play the game normally without doing the Easter egg and getting the bows, you'll find yourself getting to round 20 like within, minutes. It's so easy. The bows are ridiculously overpowered and it just breaks the whole experience. Now, whenever I play, I can't play with the bows. Otherwise, it's just so boring. Like, the bows are cool, yeah, they were cool for the first few games, and I realised that these are making this game way too easy, and the game's not supposed to be about having the one-up. It's supposed to be, you're in the shit, not the zombies. Do you know what I mean? So I think that the bows were way too much. Whether it be that it was that they just had way too much ammo, they were way too easy to make. I think it was just ultimately game-breaking in terms of relation to the gameplay of other maps. And this goes with the swords as well. The swords in Shadows of Evil, they weren't as bad. They were pretty helpful to have in gameplay, but they weren't too overpowered because you were severely limited by how much you could actually use them, which I think was a good mix of just having the bows. I think the bows should have acted like that, in a way that the bow would work like a specialist ability and you'd be severely limited into how much you could use it at one time. And you say, hang on, that might affect the final Easter egg boss. Well, just in the Easter egg boss, make it so you've got infinite use or something like that. I don't know. There's always fixes for these stuff, but the problem is that they are way too powerful. Like, that's what I mean. So now when I play the Eisendrache, I don't use the bows because it's just like, it's beyond easy mode with the bows. It's stupid. But again, the bows are cool. They're a cool idea. They just should have been implemented differently. Okay, so number 2. This is something that I think you might all realise and kind of agree with. The windows. Boarding the windows is utterly pointless. It's just useless. There's no point. In round 1, you want the zombies to come in. In round 2, you still want them to come in. And then after that, like, if you board up a window, it's gone instantly. So in the early rounds, you want them the boards to come down. And then in the later rounds, you want to keep the boards up. But there's no point keeping the boards up because they just go down instantly. So there's literally no point in having them whatsoever. They offer no benefit. And in half the places around the map, there's not even any windows. Honestly pointless. I don't understand why there's not been a way we can properly upgrade it. I mean, in Black Ops 2, there was the perma-perk thing, where you get, like, iron bars you put on the windows instead of boards. Now, that was a good idea. Implemented weirdly. I didn't quite get the whole perma-perk setup thing. It was quite confusing, to be honest. But why can't we just have a defensive system that we can upgrade it in-game and make the windows better? So actually in-game, the more you board at the windows, the stronger they get and the more useful they get. And maybe you could, like, create your own little block-off points. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could create like a barricade. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, you could create your own barricade and block off a certain area. I mean, yes, it would be game-breaking to say that you could just put it in one little room and block off the whole room, but would that be? I mean, would it be too game-breaking if the zombies got to the... they would eventually break it down. And it won't just be a way-out system where you could just put up a barricade and just win and survive there forever. But it would have to be tough enough to be actually useful. Or maybe just one barricade, You could block off the end of a bridge or something and just have them all coming in one way. But it won't last. That's what I'm saying. Just make something useful... defense-wise. The windows are pointless. You could even make the windows useful, like having them upgradable, like the more you board them up, or the more boards you put up in-game, you have like a little meter or something. like collectively as a team, the more boards you put up, and the stronger the boards will get, and they'll eventually turn into like metal boards, and then with wire around them or electric on you can make a progression system out of it, make it interesting and make it useful, or scrap it and do something else we could use ourselves to defend with, like a barricade system that isn't overpowered. It's just it's always walking a very fine line between useless and overpowered in zombies, isn't it? It's rare to find a system where it's just like it just works. All right, it's either useless or too good. Do you know what I mean? So finally, my last point is about the story. It's about the story elements in the gameplay. Well, not really in the gameplay, but regardless. Okay, so what's really irritating me, and it's what's the word to describe it? It's just incredibly unmotivating, is how little bits of the story keep changing. And now, especially with Zombies Lore videos, if I do a Zombies Lore video, it's happened on every single one I've done, within maybe a month or two, like, the story behind it has changed and just made it completely irrelevant. Or, like, parts of it. And that's just so unmotivating for me. And, that's just me as a content creator. But in terms of storyline for you guys, like, everything keeps changing. So if you learn about something, it's just going to be changed by the next map. They try out something and they think, oh, you know what? Maxis didn't know about the moon in the first game, but now, suddenly, he was part of the project. It's just like, what? That was like a major plot point in the old games, and then you brought that old plot into the new game, but that plot point isn't part of this new plot. What? Oh God! Like, it shouldn't irritate me, but it does. It does irritate me as someone who tried to keep track of all the story, and it's just gone. Not in a bad way. It's just got to be thrown into a blender and just think, oh, that'll do for this map. Oh God, there's a part of me that likes the mystery and likes working it all out, but the other part of me is saying, just fucking, what the fuck is going on? Like, there should be a line. I don't know if Treyarch knows this, but there's only so much we can theorize about everything. There's going to be a point where people just start to get disinterested at these plots that we keep running circles around. These plot elements that don't seem to make sense, and we're trying to make sense of them. And eventually people are just going to get bored. People want to know and appreciate and, experience the story of what it actually is, or what's actually going on. Nothing we see at all is concrete. Like, because it just changes all the time. I just don't like... I've got no words. That's all. It's just, it's not that it's disappointing. It's just that I find myself just kind of, look, not again. I just expect it now. I just expect stuff to change. So yeah, it's just kind of annoying me a little bit. So yeah, guys, if you have any problems with anything in the zombies storyline, in the gameplay, just in general, please tell us in the comment section below. Have a little discussion with people. Have some healthy arguments, some nice arguments. And, of course, if you can, like this video. Please, if you can. Okay, so that's it from today. So safe. My name is Wang Time. I love you long time. I'll see you next time on Play the Game Central. Ta-da.